Okay, well this is StarDrive 2, and I'm DodgerRoger. Yes, I did not forget that, eh? Now, let's just see if this is too loud. I'm gonna have to possibly check the audio after the video. But yes, this is StarDrive 2. I've not actually tried this out in the battle arena. I assume this is some kind of multiplayer, or maybe not, or maybe so. I'm honestly not sure. Interesting. Well, I'll check that out at some point anyway. But yeah, it's another kind of Empire Civilization stroke space simulator type game. Well, not simulator, but you know, you get the idea. Now, I've already got a couple of games running, so rather than start from the very beginning, I'll jump in on one of those so I can show you some of the more advanced functions in the game. But I will show you quickly what you basically get at the start of the game. I should be able to hear myself think at least now anyway. But besides that, so you've got the campaigns. Now there's 9 particular races in the game at the moment. I don't think they're going to be adding any more, but they could well do. There might be expansions as well to come. This game is actually quite... I was quite surprised at how good this game is, to be honest. Or at least in certain areas anyway. The ground combat needs polishing, in my opinion, but that is the only thing that really is of minor import, really, I think. But it works anyway. That's the main thing. Anyway, back to what I was saying. You've got 9 races. Obviously, you've got the humans in there. Some of the other races are kind of not necessarily parodies, I suppose. Well, they are in certain respects of both of the games and other lore and history. Anyone familiar with the H.P. Lovecraft series of stories, or you know, books and tales that he wrote, will be able to tell you what Cthulhu is. Now, Cthulhu, he's not actually mentioned in this game, I don't think. But I've actually got a game going with the Raleigh theocracy at the moment. But it's not as advanced, so I can't really say if any. But you should be able to tell that from here. Basically, the Elder God is the hint. Elder God, yeah, that's Cthulhu. It's summed up in, well, maybe Dark Elder God would be a more appropriate term because he's not a particularly nice chap. But yeah, that's one of the races. You've got obviously the Samurai Bears, which is, I think that's a bit of a parody at World of Warcraft, for their kind of like Kung Fu bears, or pandas. Is it pandas? Yeah. But yeah, you know, Kung Fu pandas, Samurai Bears. You've got like these wolf bat type people, the Wolfar. These are particularly just savage, I think, from what I've seen of them. Yeah, kind of 2-dimensional aggressor in the shape of things. Right, so you've also got the Opterus Hive. Now, these ones, from what I recall, it's yeah, it's a cybernetic organism with regards to this one, which again is kind of an interesting way of going about it. It's, I suppose, well, I'd say something like similar to the Borg in Star Trek, maybe. Well, maybe not with regards to the form, obviously, but with regards to the idea behind it. Okay. Then you've got the Draylock Council. Now, Draylock Council, they're interesting, and you'll find that out if you play the game or if I show you. I'm not sure if I'll give away that particular spoiler. They're interesting people in this game. I've not actually played as them yet, so I'm not sure of their particular history. But they play more like traders, I suppose, in this particular game. Or at least that's the way that they appear to behave anyway. Kind of underhand with their spying. They tend to spy quite a bit, but they also tend to be quite weak in combat, so they don't tend to fight for very long with regards to warfare anyway. Okay, on to the next one. Now these guys, the Chook affiliation, these are basically like insectoids from what I recall. Sort of, I suppose, yeah, certainly look at. And these are basically the majority of these guys tend to be kind of pirates. And the race, or the particular race in the game, they behave a lot like that. They tend to just try and bully everyone into giving them stuff. And, yeah, aren't particularly nice. The polyp symbiosis, these guys are plant people. And, they can be quite interesting, I suppose, especially with regards to the way that they communicate. They kind of got similar perks to some of the other races, as in, it's kind of what you expect for a plant kind of people, or at least what you'd expect from them, anyway. Same for the Terrans. Terrans are particularly kind of normal, I suppose, with regards to the way they behave in game. I think the first game I had with on StarDrive 2 was with the humans, but I gave that one up for another game. I think it was with the Kilrathi, possibly. I think it was with the Kilrathi. And my third campaign that I've started up recently has been with these guys, the Rayleigh, or rather, yeah. But anyway, on to the last one, and I've left my kind of favourite for last. Yes, these guys, the Coruscant Collective. Oh, let me get back. Now, with these guys, I kind of dislike them, but I like them at the same time. And the main reason for it is because of the way that they actually are in game. As you can see, they're not particularly attractive race. Now, the way that they actually work is that they're, as it says here, they use mind control to control alien races. And on the particular planet where they're from, this one here, called an Odd, they've enslaved an entire race basically to do their bidding. And yeah, their race are the Owlwoks, which yeah, you heard that right, Owlwoks, and they're kind of like Ewoks but owls. It's probably the most easiest way to describe them. And yeah, that's obviously a kind of a parody towards Star Wars, I suppose. But yeah, as I say, I'm gonna jump in. I might actually just jump in with these guys just to show you the Owlwoks. I should be able to see them. I'll just create a basic game because I'm not going to save this and just show you what it says. Show you what it's all about. Each of the different races has their own kind of introduction as well. So, as you can see, I'm not going to go back and do one for each of them. Well, at least not at the moment anyway. I might do it at some point. It depends on whether or not people want to see it. But
Welcome
yeah.
to StarDrive 2.
Let me just turn it off. That's the tutorial. There's a tutorial for this, although it is a bit basic from what I've seen of it. Well, with regards to certain things at least anyway. This is the star map, so you can see around the area, or at least the galactic kind of area. You basically start off with one core system, with one colony. Yeah, that's not changed. And you basically spread out from there. Now, in this particular instance, it should be 5 random AI opponents. Obviously, it changes depending on what settings you choose. The main thing that I've found with this particular, or at least what really makes it for me, at least anyway, is the combat. Now, I will go and show you that shortly on one of my different saves, but what I'll do at the moment is I'll just show you some of the other features that are in game already. So, basically I'll just start with what the basic kind of like menus, at least anyway. So as I say, you've got the core system. You get your fleets, which you can separate out fairly easily. That's a colony ship. You start off with basically with a colony ship and a frigate. It's kind of similar to a lot of other games in that regard, or at least games of this style anyway, with what you start off with. The plan is very basic, and there we go, those are the Owlwoks. Owlwoks are basically, as I say, they're basically Ewoks, which are owls, obviously. There are quite a few nifty little features for this game, like for example, it's not exactly turn-based Though it's actually a real-time universe, so anything you set up to move, for example, if I move this down here, it would give me an ETA of 2, that's how many turns it will actually take to get there. That's the distance 27, what it stands for now. Astral units, I think. Yeah, possibly. But basically, yeah, I mean, I can then, well, before I can do that, I actually have to choose my research, so I'll do that now. You've got the research here. The interesting thing with the research is you don't get the option to research all of these. You only get the option to research one of them, and then move on to the next stage. So, for example, if I was to research fuel cell, plasma fuel cells there, the other two would become locked out, and then I would advance to the second level, and we'll be able to choose one from there. But it would only be one, and then I'd have to move on to the next one, etc, etc, etc. The reason why they've done that is so that you don't have the ability to research everything anyway, but also that it also promotes trade with the other alien races, or spying on them, or interaction with them in order to get that technology from them, which I think is quite a nice little idea. It certainly does make sense in certain respects, because it's kind of like we've seen it with regards to technology developments on our planet, as far as, you know, certain things not getting developed in certain areas, for example. Anyway, so yeah, I need to choose a research before I can go and show you the movements. So let's just randomly choose one. Each one of these has, you know, various traits and interactions with the way, well, and kind of, yeah, interactions with your development. So, for example, this one, that one has G production, that one has G production as well. Oh, press the wrong button. You've got food production there. These are basic like weaponry and ship upgrades. Particle physics, this one, at least the first one there, that aids research, but you have to build it, and it's expensive to run as well. Again, these two are upgrades for your ships. Let's have a look. Research upgrades and experimental. Now these are kind of like racial, kind of technological developments. So they're supposed to be unique, but from what I've seen, they're not necessarily unique. But certain ones are unique to that particular race, from what I can tell. I've not obviously played through all of the different races yet, but it's looking that way, at least from what I've seen so far. Alright, anyway, so continue on. You've got your empire management screen. Obviously, as you get more colonies, they list their leaders. Leaders are kind of like special characters you get in game. You can assign them to your different kind of solar systems for them to lead them and give them benefits with regards to capacity, or, you know, efficiency, that kind of thing, happiness as well. You've got your tax rate here as well, which is default set is 0%. I mean, I don't really mess around with it that much unless I'm building a lot of things. But yeah, so that's there. And obviously you've got your planets as well, so it tells you a bit about your planets. And that's well, you've got your diplomacy screen, I suppose. Yeah, so showing them there's another 5 alien races, but I don't know any of them yet. Fleet management. This is yeah, I should go through this, because this is where it gets really interesting. Mainly because it relates to the space combat, which is, as I say, it's what is.
Welcome to the shipyard.
Really, interested about this. Sorry about that. I should have turned that off probably at the start. That would have helped. Anyway, so you've got your ship designs. Now, I can only show you the first 3 on this particular save, but again, I can show you the larger, some of the other designs on other nations. This one in particular, that's a Corvette. Now you've got a little option here called the overlay. You can turn that off. Oh, sorry. See that? So Corvette anyway. So that overlay, you can change the colour there as well. You can zoom in and move the camera around. Maybe not. Or maybe I've just missed it out. I mean, it's been a while since I've played, or at least been through the tutorial for this anyway. But yeah, so you've got the Corvette there, which is a very light ship in comparison to some of the later ones you can get, especially. As you can see, it doesn't really carry much with regards to space. The next one up is a frigate class, and the third one is the cruiser. Each one obviously is larger than the last, and it can carry more with regards to weaponry, and well, it has more capability because you can carry more. But you've got all the weapons here, defenses as well, and systems. And I can't really show you that much from this particular one, obviously because it's a new game, but I will show you more from another save as I do that, or as I get into that. So yeah, you've got things like Vulcan cannons. These are basically close range point defenses, but it's very simple to apply them to your vehicle. You just drop them in there. There are other upgrades here as well, which again is what makes it more interesting in my mind. It makes it more complicated, but it's still fairly simple. You've got all of the information with regards to how much production cost it takes, so you know how long it takes to build. Module mass, as far as weight of the craft goes, it does actually make a little bit of a difference with regards to how manoeuvrable it is around the battlefield, or space battlefield, I suppose. Cooldown for the weapons, I think it is. Yeah, between salvos. How much ammunition you've got, how much you use per shot, shots per salvo, firing arc, power draw, and module health. And obviously these little kind of like upgrades you can do, they cost more with regards to ammunition use, mass, cost, etc. Anyway, so yeah, but then you can replace that. It does show you that they've got the upgrades installed, if you can see it there, compared against ones that don't. But anyway, yeah, continue on. So you've got things like steel armor, shields as well, that they go in there. Systems, so ordnance, which is your ammunition, basic command, and power. So you've got different kind of options for each ship. These are basically like the core parts, obviously the power and command, at least in my mind anyway. With regards to the command, the smaller ships can't necessarily have that. And obviously you've got engines as well, with various sizes and capabilities. You can armour these armour, you can make it ablative and reactive. With the shields, I think you can make that armoured as well. But yeah, there's various different options. I mean, this is only really scratching the surface of what you get in the game. As I say, I'm going to go into a different game now and show you what it kind of looks like, which is a little bit more complicated, I suppose. But yeah, so as I say, this is the basic stuff, but you can scroll this around. I'm sure you can scroll this around. I'm just doing it with a night. Maybe not. Wait, I mean, I don't know. I'll have to play around with it, I suppose. But yeah, I could have sworn I was doing that the other day. I was playing this. They might have removed it, I suppose. I honestly don't know. Yeah, that's not doing anything. Okay. Right, so I'll come out of this save and show you one of the other games that I've got. But as I say, I've got Rallier, and that's what I've called it, Q221, but I'll compare that one. I don't think that's nowhere near as advanced as the Federation one that I've got going at the moment. Or the Korathi one, which is in deep war at the moment. But I'll show you the Federation one because that's the most advanced, and I've got pretty much everything, well, as far as I'm aware anyway. I think there's one thing I'm missing as far as research goes that I'm after, at least that I was after anyway, which is an upgrade to your star base. But anyway, continuing on. So, this is the state of play with the Federation. Now, this is the first game I had with the Federation, and I basically went through it fairly quickly just to kind of see what the end kind of game scenario was like. I didn't really have any major wars during the kind of like build up towards the end game, but it did take some time to do that, and I also obviously found out a little bit of the about the combat mainly, and how to control vehicles in combat. Since I got to the end game, I'd just been basically building the largest class of ships, or at least the largest two classes of ships, and bullying the nearing races, mainly the Dreadnought Council and the Quarterstein Collective. The Gorgeous Collective I've decided to exterminate because I feel sorry for the Outwalks. And the Dreadnought Council, they kind of annoyed me a while. Well, when I was playing through in the particular campaign, I think they had a couple of wars with me, and they stole the doors off me as well. These systems down in this area, they were all Dreadnought Council until recently. They have now new owners, but they just won't. Yes, they don't accept, but they don't have any choice. But anyway, let's continue on. Let's just have a quick look around. Alright, so if I've done it there. That's one of the large sheeps. Large sheeps. Yes, sheeps even. Nah, space sheeps. Okay, that's a new one, actually. Maybe I should suggest that to them. But yeah, let me just show you what I mean by the ships and the designs there. So, yeah, I've got 3 fleets up at the moment. Running quite hefty, it would be quite a hefty maintenance cost, but I've got enough command points to use it. Command points is kind of like the upper limit for the amount of ships that you're supposed to have. If you go over that limit, then you pay more maintenance. Now, looking at the weaponry available, once you've got everything basically unlocked, you've got access to the battleships. Come on, again, what are you doing to me? Oh, is it crashed, really? No. Okay, that was strange. Okay, so yeah. So I've got access to the Battleship class, which is that one, and the Titan class, which is the end one. For some reason it's going on rather slowly now. I'm not 100% sure why that is. Thinking about it, let me just check Steam. No, it doesn't look like Steam's giving me any grief. But yeah, continuing on. So with the Battleship class, you've literally got access to the largest kind of ship in the game. Most amount of firepower, or least fittable area to put your weaponry down. And let's just say I'm at the end game now, but well, in this particular one, which is why I've got this particular weapon as well, the death ring. You get that from the last boss in the game, which I think I might be able to show you. Actually, I think I've got to save just before I did it, so I might have a look at maybe showing you that. What's going off with this? It's going really slow. It could actually be the campaign, because the campaign is, as I say, I've got it to the end game. Yeah, it seems to be going really slow now. Can't do anything about that. Well, that's novel. It's the first time that's happened. There we go. Right, yeah, it was going slowly. It isn't like that for some reason at all. There has been a patch recently, so it might be interfering with it, but I'm not 100% sure of that. No, do I have a fleet up here? I do. This will mean doing a land combat, which I'm not keen on doing. It's not the prettiest part of the game, to be honest. Which is what I'm more interested in showing. Space combat, there we go, right. So that's a relatively large enemy fleet. Looking at it, I mean, yeah, that's a small enemy fleet. They've not really got anything big in there, I don't think. It's a battleship class, I think. But yeah, they've only got one in there, maybe. Two, maybe. I mean, yeah, the fleet I've got there. This fleet will just annihilate what they've got there, because it's got Titans in it. So I'll show you. a little bit of space combat. That was just a small little battle, so I wasn't going to waste my time with that one. There's one ship versus my starbase and everything else as well in the fleet. This one, on the other hand, that's the one I was hopefully going to show you, so I'll word it. Space combat in this particular game is, yeah, I think it's where it shines. It's more like something like Gratuitous Space Battles. If you've played that, you will probably see similarities to this, but it's only slight ones, I think. This is a very original idea, at least in my opinion. I'm at max zoom at the moment just to place all of these ships, which you get to do at the start of the battle. There we go. This is the enemy fleet, so yeah, I don't think they've got any Titans, judging by the size of these ships. Pretty sure that this particular enemy that I'm fighting at the moment has larger ships. Not that these are small, but they're not Titans. I've got 4 Titans sat over there. And I think in all of the engagements I had on this particular campaign, I think I've lost 1 Titan, maybe 2. I think on this particular campaign it is actually a lower difficulty rating, but you'll see. Oh, there goes one. Can turn this particular feature off, which is just telling you the amount of damage that you do with each shot, and you can slow it down as well, which is a nice little function, I think, especially for when things tend to hot up, which they can do. It's all real-time control, so I could just pause that there. So the music and well, the music's not that bad, but it's the sound effects more than anything, than quite large explosions. Yeah, so within each, like as I say, it's RTS, so what I can do is tell this particular group of ships, for example, to attack a particular target. At the moment they're all just sat in the large canopy shield that's been put up by the these Titans here and here. But each of those ships has shields anyway, so I can just move them out. I'm pretty sure that the enemy aren't even going to drop the shields of any of those ships that I've got in there, because there's just nothing there that can really stop them. So let's just get that going. Oh, I should do that as well, thinking about it. Yeah, they can carry carry fighters as well. As you should be able to see when they start popping out. There we go. So the fighter's coming out now. It's really in slow motion, so it really is quite loud. I can't change the sound level. Okay. Ah. Tilt the shift. This is, like I say, it's more end-game combat, so the firepower is so much greater than what you start off with. left, so this isn't going to take long until we've got 2 missile boats left at the deployment area, and not move very far, if at all. But yeah, as I said, this is pretty much in-game combat, so most of the stuff that you'll see that I'm using, at least anyway, is pretty much pimped out to the max as far as capability goes. Plus they're veteran crews as well. These are all like awards you get, which also boost stats or damage for each of the ships. Yeah, and you can also get them for fighters as well. There's a few more fighters that have had purple hearts from how much damage they've taken, and they've actually survived, which has been quite surprising. But let me just see if I've got the end-game boss while I save. I can briefly show you that as well. And that's the enemy fleet dead. I mean, I am doing a fairly quick kind of tour, I suppose, of the game, so you might have to forgive me for that. Just need to find anything. Maybe it was 6. Things might actually change within the game anyway. You know, it's only just hit version 1.0, pretty much. But I don't think it will change that much with regards to the space combat. I think possibly the ground combat will get refined a little bit more. So at the moment, that is kind of the Achilles heel for this game, but it's still really nice in my opinion. I think I've done the end game at this point. Yep, there we go. Right, so you want to see the end game boss. I think I might make this a little bit more interesting. Take some of the ships out that I was going to take in with me before. Or ships that I did take in with me before, I should say. I might actually make it really interesting and take quite a few ships less. Not taking any of the battleships and just take Titans. Okay. Go over there. I do have quite a few Titans, I suppose. I've got this, like, what's that, 7? But I know that as well as the big boss, which is big. I mean, I think he's bigger than a Titan. Quite a lot bigger than a Titan. There's also other ships in there as well that I'll have to fight, so it's not necessarily unfair of me doing this. Let's get stuck in, shall we? So yeah, he is quite a bit bigger. But even without the aid of the battleships, I'm pretty sure that this fleet has the firepower to take him out, really. I can't remember whether or not he actually managed to take out any of my ships in the last time, when I did this first time. But we'll see. So yeah, I mean, like I say, this is on the easy setting, I suppose, and there was quite a lot of Titans there. Didn't lose any from what I saw there. And that's the end boss, at least, for the main content of the game. But that doesn't end the game. For that, once you've done that boss, then you can basically go on and conquer galactic map. So you basically take out or bring to terms every other alien nation in the game, but it's completely up to you from this point onwards as far as what you do. I'm not going to show you that bit because that's a bit of a spoiler. But that's pretty much it, I suppose, as far as StarDrive 2 goes. I will possibly record more of it if there's any massive developments. Again, I might do some more of the other races as well. I'm certainly interested in checking out the Owlwalks, and probably even the plant people, because they just sound to be quite funny. But that'll do me for the for this stream anyway. It's kind of a bit of a tour, I suppose. I will be making a video of this and putting it on YouTube just to, show people that are interested. And any feedback or comments are more than welcome. I will, as I say, be doing more videos on this, but there are other games of similar genre that I'm going to be looking at as well that I've got that I have not done videos of because they're still in beta and are likely to change. But that'll do it for me anyway. I'm going to at least stop this particular broadcast. If you do have any questions or queries, just write them down in chat and I'll happily answer any questions you've got. Thanks for watching and see you soon.